Now, there's a lot of people who responded to my video, the call to atheists, and a lot of my other videos. A lot of atheists like to comment on my videos, when I welcome that completely. I always like to engage in a little philosophical and theological debate. But one person said that there was about as much evidence for a God as there is evidence of a unicorn, and it was kind of ridiculous for me to ask how they got to that opinion. It's like, when did I ever stop believing in the unicorn? People all the time say that there is no evidence for your God. Well, I want you to stop right now. I want you to take a look at your body. Your body is made up by billions and billions of cells that all work together. And they work together to form tissues, which form organs, which form systems, which form who you are. Those cells all work together in harmony so that you can hear and see and feel.
Except for when your sensory organs don't work properly and you need a hearing aid, glasses,
smell and think, and
you have mental disabilities such as severe brain damage from an accident, or you were born mentally handicapped.
Me to believe that all of that just happened? A few billion years ago, a big bang happened, and all of a sudden, through trial and error, we evolved into these beings that now function properly? Now,
yeah, no we don't. Not even close. I mean, look at how many wars we start. And for silly little things. And consider the fact we have a blind spot. We have wisdom teeth that we don't need that will, cause you pain and possibly death. We have an appendix, which is more or less you can live without it, and it'll also try to kill you. We don't have enough cushioning around a lot of our joints. Our bones decalcify way too early in life. Yeah, great frickin' design.
I don't know what your opinion about me is, but I happen to believe that you are not a mistake. And
also, a lot of good things came about through trial and error. Medicine, probably houses, cars, useful things.
Not a product of a lot of different mistakes. Your whole body is evidence of divine design.
A very shitty design.
This whole world is evidence of divine design.
A very shitty design, considering how little of the earth we can live on, and yet how much of the earth will, in fact, kill you if given the chance.
There are laws in nature that don't just come about.
As far as we can tell, those are just the constants of the universe. That's just the way existence is. Kind of like how the universe is just mostly a void that will kill us. It's extremely cold. That will kill us. It's full of radiation. That will kill us.
They were put in place. Mathematics have a rhythm and a pattern.
Except we developed mathematics. We kind of figured out numbers and how they should work. But had we screwed that up, nothing would make sense.
Always is and always happens. Music has a rhythm.
Music is made by people, for people. It's not a part of nature. It's something we discern the pattern of.
A pattern that always is, will never deviate. That is evidence of a design, and that is evidence against randomness.
And that is the exact same argument used by Muslims and Hindus and Mormons.
But you say, oh, I still need more evidence. Okay. Well, God came and became one of us a few thousand years ago. But unfortunately, a lot of people didn't believe in them, and they put him on a cross and killed him.
Yeah, some god. He got nailed to wood.
Thank God he is not subject to human whim.
I think he was, 'cause he got nailed to some frickin' wood.
3 days later, he came back. See,
just like Horus and Mithra, and various other deities.
The thing is, almost everybody agrees that there was a Jesus Christ. And what nobody can find is his grave.
And no one can find the grave of Mithra or Horus, because, they resurrected too.
What separates Christianity from every other religion that totes that there is a God. You can go visit the graves of every other religion.
Except for, you know, the ones whose gods were resurrected.
Not Jesus. Without Jesus, we're just another group of people out there making noise. But with Jesus risen, we have life. And life has meaning. And some Christians like to talk because they want to be right. Well, this Christian wants to talk because he cares enough about you to offer you of God. But there were some
No, he talks because he's a smug asshole.
other people who left comments who were saying, well, I can't believe in God because of war. There's too much war and bad things that happen in the name of God. There's been a lot of bad things that have happened in the name of God and in the name of Christianity. But do you blame God for that, or do you blame the knuckleheads that caused it?
Well, considering they're following his orders, and he didn't correct them, and he didn't bitch slap them around after they fucked up.
And I'm sure somebody out there is going, well, what about the Old Testament? There is such a thing as a just war.
But there's not such a thing as a just genocide of people and smashing their babies on rocks.
But I'm not getting into that in this video. That's the topic for another time. But really, it all comes down to what you put your faith into, because everybody has faith. It's just what you put it into.
Yes, I have faith that things don't disappear when I can no longer see them. I have faith that we are made of atoms, even though I can't see them and I have to depend on others claiming they've seen them.
You either have faith that you evolved over billions of years because of random chance and mistakes, trial and error, and that somehow that you are here.
Except trial and error isn't exactly random chance.
That somehow all of the universe was bound up in this tiny little thing that exploded. Or you
Except if you knew dick all about anything, you would know that nothing exploded.
put your faith in a loving God who created all of this.
Or you could put your faith in the name of a different God who supposedly created all this. Or you could put your faith in the names of several gods who supposedly created this. Or you can put your faith in a God who allowed evolution and the Big Bang to happen. There's a fuckload of choices.
And gave us all the freedom to choose either him or other things.
And then gets pissed off when we choose other things, even though he knew ahead of time we would choose those other things.
And it's because of that choice that we have all of the mistakes and problems in the world, not because of God, but because of what we have chosen.
Except, you know, he could have done a bit better job of guiding us. He could have corrected some of these mistakes. He could have maybe set things up differently so they wouldn't have happened. I mean, it's only his divine plan.
We brought it on ourselves. But at every step, God gives us another chance and another chance. But you say you're an atheist because you don't have faith. Well, I suggest that you have more faith than me.
I suggest that that is the same bullshit argument used by every theist.
Because it takes more faith to believe that you came from nothing than it does to believe that God created everything.
It takes being a pretentious asshole to think that you're somehow so special that this all-powerful being who can create the whole universe would give a shit about this one little asshole on a tiny piece of shit floating around in the middle of nowhere.